As you can hear, this place is ready to go berserk. The Islanders, Vancouver, a best 2 out of 3, and it becomes, Bob, in the first game, almost a must game for the Islanders to win.
Many times we've said it during the regular season games that the outcome of a hockey game could well be determined by the first goal scored. I really think that's going to be the result of this hockey game. Whoever gets it in the net first is liable to go on to win it. The Islanders must put a lot of pressure on the Vancouver defense and check quick.
The referee is the veteran Lloyd Gilmer, the linesman Leon Stickle, and Neil Armstrong. Vancouver will start Chris Odlefson at center with Ron Settlebauer on the left and Don Lever on the right. Whether John Gould will start on right wing. Harold Smith and Mike Robitaille on defense. Off the draw, Islanders control Davey Lewis to shoot it in, as he does offside J.P. Parisi. The Islanders starting their bet line. Jude Juan at center, J.P. Parisi on the left, and Eddie Westfall on the right, with Bert Marshall and Davey Lewis back.
First time the puck was dropped on the ice, immediately Vancouver went to be a second spin to the Islanders. They are going to check it very close. They were even checking the defenseman.
Bob has covered the fact that no team in the league, and I mean no team, was tougher than Vancouver on the Islanders this year. Off the draw, the big young defenseman Smith comes to center. Gets belted along the boards by Westfall. Puck is taken away and shot in by Juan from right to left. After it is Gould, flips along the boards, taken away by Juan. Throws in the corner for Parisi. Parisi in the right corner, fenced against the boards by Gould. Can't control it, taken away by Robitaille. He winds it around the boards, kept in by Marshall on the right point. Marshall throws it in back. Parisi in back of the net. Juan goes in front. Parisi throws it across goal mouth. The rebound taken by Lewis. The shot wide. The rebound caroms out across the blue line, picked up by Bert Marshall. Islanders have come off very strong. A lead for Juan. Juan loses at the blue line, taken away now on the shot by Gould. His shot is high, and it's caught by Chico, wound around the boards by Marshall, and thrown to center ice by Parisi. Here comes Parisi up the middle. Parisi, a lead for Westfall, onside, closing in, ridden off the play by Kearns. In the slot, Juan, he misses the pass. Rebound left side, Juan sends him back to the cage. After it, Parisi. Parisi runs together along with Daly, and the puck is knocked aside by Daly, taken away by Dennis Kearns. Kearns heads up ice. It's Rick Blight, Don Lever, and now the puck is thrown in by Blight. And at center ice, it's Shaky Walton. Around his own net, Davey Lewis. Ahead for Parisi. Islanders haven't made a change yet. Losing at the Vancouver line of Kearns. Here's a lead for Walton. He comes across 1-on-2. His dump pass taken away by Nystrom. Nystrom heads up ice. Nystrom now, as their fight is breaking up against Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent, Walton at the other end of the ice. Saint Laurent and Walton are having a go right in front of the Islander net. Saint Laurent knocks him down. Saint Laurent knocks him down. Saint Laurent with a good left. Saint Laurent with a good right hand. Saint Laurent knocked him down. And now they're separated by Armstrong, by Stickle. Andre Saint Laurent knocked Mike Shaky Walton to the ice.
Walton initially had the better part of that go. It started when Walton had made a drop pass, and Saint Laurent, in the process of trying to ride him off the puck, did not like the way Saint Laurent got his stick up a little high. Walton retaliated by crashing him one, and then the two of them got at it. Walton got the initial best of it because he was butting Andy Saint Laurent in the face with his helmet, and has bloodied Andy's nose pretty good. But Saint Laurent evened the score very quickly with his fists. And both of them are going to go in the penalty box. Certainly 5 minutes each for fighting, and it may be more. Walton is getting 5 minutes for fighting at 1:40. Andy Saint Laurent will probably get the same. Whoops. 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting. So they say that Saint Laurent started it with 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 for fighting. So the Islanders will have to skate a man down for that first 2 minutes of the penalty being served by Andy Saint Laurent. Time of the penalty at 1:40, and it sure didn't take them long for those fuses to burn down and explode.
18:20 left in the first period. Right now there's a break in the action, and there is no score. Is off for 2 and 5, and Walton Bob off, as you said, just for 5. Vancouver, a very aggressive offensive team. The Islanders will kill it with Westfall and Lorne Henning, Hart, and Denny Potvin, who makes his first appearance on the ice. Islanders shoot it to the Vancouver line, taken by Bob Daly. Daly and Kearns, the defensive pair. Now ahead on left wing for Lever. Comes across the line, knocked away, picked up by Hart, and he sends it off the boards and into the crowd as he tried to send it down ice. Clark Gillies has gone on to serve the first 2 minutes of the Saint Laurent penalty.
And as you say, that's most likely because of it'll be a while till that line comes back out on the ice. San Laurent had only been on the ice maybe 30 seconds tops while the Islanders were trying to get the rest of that line change on when he and Walton got into it. Walton initially got the best of it, but Andy evened it up.
All right, off the draw, shot in on goal by Verbegot. Good save by Chico. Kicks it out, but not out of the zone. Henning trying to clear, and he does to center ice. After it is Daly. Daly and Kearns are on both defensemen. Now the puck sent to center ice by Vancouver, taken away by Denny Potvin. He throws it right back in again all the way down. Islanders have killed off the first 35 seconds of the penalty. The line is Dennis Verbegot, Rick Blight, and Don Lever. Ahead now comes Verbegot on his off wing, and he plays it in. Taken by Westfall, he retreats behind the net, circles the net, looks to get it out, winds it around, and it's picked up by Denny Potvin. And Denny can't control it, but it goes to center ice. Islanders would have had a 2-on-2 rush. Here is Kearns. Ahead now for Lever, and he plays it in for Rick Blight. Knocked away by Henning. It's loose behind the Islander net, taken by Hart. Hart plays him back to Denny Potvin. He winds around for Westfall, and the Islanders should clear, and they do. Here comes Westfall to center. His pass was deflected, or Henning might have had a breakaway. Kearns comes across. Kearns, a drop pass. Verbegot, goal! Dennis Verbegot with a bullet from the right side. Off the drop pass, and Vancouver leads 1-0. A power play goal by Dennis Verbegot. He shot a bullet, and I don't think Rush ever saw it. It went clean as a whistle into the lower left-hand side of the net.
Verbegot let it go very quickly, just inside that blue line after he received a drop pass. Jerry Hart went down on his side to try to block the shot on a sliding save, but it just rifled in, and that might have been part of the problem why Chico never saw the puck, as Hart had gone down to try to make a sliding save. Verbegot gets the goal. That will be his first of this year's playoffs at 2:58. The assist to Kearns and Blight.
Right, now the teams are at equal strength, full strength, as Saint Laurent and Walton will serve the coincidental majors. Off the draw, Islanders lose at the blue line. Banged the other way by Vancouver, taken away by Marshall. Burt plays it in. Caught by Ridley in goal. Ridley in his first Stanley Cup game. Loses by the net to Precy. The pass out to McMillan is knocked away, and it's taken by Ron Settlebauer. He throws cross ice for Gould. It goes into the Vancouver zone, and a delay offside is called by Neil Armstrong. There's a break in the action with the score. Vancouver 1, and the Islanders 0. And comes out in front. Rush clears in back to Jerry Hart. Now out on the left side for Harris, as the Lightning Company is finally on ice, and they can't get it out. Hart has to pick it up back in his own end. Throws cross ice to Denny Potvin. Now a lead for Trottier, broken up at center ice and dumped the other way by Grisdale, taken away by Hart. Jerry Hart will rush it himself. Hart to the Vancouver line, he plays it in. After it, Harris and Gillies, taken by Odlisson behind the net. Makes a good move to get around Harris and comes up ice. Odlisson skates straight ahead. A lead for Settlebauer, broken up by Denny Potvin. It curls into Islander end. Taken by Denny Potvin behind his goal. He sends it in front, hooked away by Rush, picked up by Trottier. Bryan, a lead on right wing to Harris. Harris now ducks it in. After it goes Gillies and Grisdale. Gillies keeps in to Trottier behind. Throws in front. The shot is deflected. Ridley skates out of the cage and sends it up to Settlebauer to center ice. Ridley was hit and knocked down as it came out. Now Grisdale comes across on the right side, and he plays it down deep in Islander end. Taken by Denny Potvin. Ahead for Gillies. Gillies' pass is broken up in front by Gould and taken away by Trottier. Here's a 3-on-3. Trottier, a lead for Gillies. Back to Bryan. Bryan circles, go over the line. Ahead for Denny Potvin. He closes. The shot is deflected. Rebound Trottier. In the slot for Gillies. Back to Trottier right side. Bryan now leads for Gillies. He circles in the slot. On the point, Hart. Hart on the left point. Throws in the slot for Denny Potvin. The shot went wide. He had an edge. It went wide. The rebound turned around the net. Picked up by Robitaille. He overskates on the right boards. He's pinned by Trottier. They'll get a face-off in deep Vancouver ice. We've gone 5 minutes into this first period of the hockey game. The Islanders are yet to get a direct shot on goal at Ridley. To give you some idea of the kind of defense that Vancouver is playing and close checking. The Islanders having a little problem coming out of their end. A lot of the passes have been off the mark only because I think they're still a little bit on the tight side. But that first goal, a power play goal, scored by Vancouver, should take a lot of that edge off. Verbegot got the first goal of the game 3 minutes into it from Kearns and Blight. And Vancouver leads it 1-0. Bob, I thought the Denny Potvin shot had Ridley beaten, and it just went wide to the left side. Islanders have carried the plate of Vancouver tonight. They are really thumping bodies. As you say, Vancouver has a 1-0 lead. Both teams have made a change. Lord Henning is centering the line now for Howard and Nystrom with Saint Laurent in the penalty box. Off the draw, Howard along the board plays behind the Vancouver net, taken away by Robitaille. He sends out Smith. Ahead in center ice, the pass is broken up, intended for Blight by Marshall, and thrown to Howard. Gary comes across, tries to ride through Robitaille, is checked. Snap picks it up and back. He gets a belt from Howard. The puck is kept in by Henning along the left board. Now it's knocked to center ice by Bobby Lalonde. He gets punished by Davey Lewis, and Lewis plays it right back in again. The bodies are really flying. This is going to be a thumping series between two teams who will play the body. Ahead in center ice now, the pass onside. And for Flaherty, he is checked from behind and loses, and Nystrom comes the other way. Ahead for Howard. Howard across the Vancouver line. Back to Nystrom. Kicks it ahead. Bobby behind the net. Bobby winds it around the net on the right side. Goes for it himself. Plays him back to Howard. Gary looks to center. He's checked there. Hit by Daly. The puck is underneath him, and it's tied up for a faceoff as Howard and Snett begin to scrap. There's a break in the action. Score, Vancouver 1. The Islanders 0. Takes off now, deep Vancouver end. Taken by Denny Common on the left board. He looks to throw across. He looks to Hart. Hart with a shot! Very hard. On a pass from Denny Common. A blue line bullet.
He's just too big for it. The pass thrown by Denny Potvin to the left point, and Hart let go of the blazing bullet. And it went in. Now, it may have been tipped in by Clark Gillies. Nope, they give it to Gary Hart. Denny Potvin will definitely get an assist.
Jottier gets an assist for winning the draw. Now, Vancouver comes down ice. Ahead for Gould. His shot is deflected wide. Thrown in back in the net by Denny Potvin and carried out by Eddie Westfall. Left wing pass for Reese. Cheap now to come across. He does. And he rides over Big Daly and gets a bump as he does. Daly, a big guy. And back Monahan. Checked by Juan. The puck comes out on the right wing, knocked away by Parisi, and he plays him back of the cage. It is all Islanders. Now, Juan, right side of the cage, throws it in back. After goes Westfall and Gould. The puck sent him back to Dennis Kearns in back of his own cage. Winds it around the boards, and out comes Don Lieber. Ahead for Monahan, knocked off the stick, taken by Juan. Juan's pass broken up. Westfall will come across when his teammates clear. They do, and he does. All the way down. Behind the Vancouver net is Dennis Kearns. Islanders have controlled the play. We're tied at 1. Only 7 minutes gone by in a super hockey game. This is the Stanley Cup hockey. Gary Monahan comes across for Vancouver. Belted by Hart. Dragged down by Hart. No penalty called. And the Islanders lucky there. Ahead now for Westfall on right wing. Past him, and it's deflected back to center ice by Dennis Kearns. Now Denny Potvin comes across. Throws to Juan left wing. It's golfed at and sent down ISO by Dennis Kearns. Picked up by Bert Marshall. Kearns has played extremely well thus far. It has been all Islanders, although we're tied 1-1. Denny Potvin ahead of ice for Nystrom. He's just knocked down. Penalty on Bobby Lalonde. Penalty coming up on Bobby Lalonde. He reached out and put the hook into Nystrom as he broke down, getting a great lead pass from Denny Potvin. There is a break in the action. With the score, the Islanders 1 and Vancouver 1.
The penalty is on Bobby Lalonde. 2 minutes for hooking at 7:31 of the second period. The most prolific power play unit in the National Hockey League is on the ice for the Islanders.
Off the jaw, left point, Denny Potvin. Right point, Jean Potvin. Left point, Denny Potvin. Denny looks in the slot. The Harris, a shot. Broken up. The rebound, Harris. Harris, right side. Deeks. Right face-off circle, Harris. Then he starts to sneak in. He has snuck in. The pass in front is deflected and sent down ice by Chris Odlefson. Odlefson and Johnny Gould are killing the penalties. Boy, Bob, you saw Denny Potvin sneak in. One of his maneuvers, and that pass almost got to him.
They've done that a number of times and scored this year.
All right, here's Jean Potvin at center. He plays it in off the boards. Gillies to go in after to keep it in and set it up. Throws it in front, knocked aside by Robitaille. Picked up by Gillies, and the Islanders have it set up. Back on the point now to Denny Potvin, but it's knocked away and sent to center ice. And here comes Gould, one-on-one. He fakes to the left, the shot. Goal! Short-handed goal by Johnny Gould. He faked and shot a bullet pass rush, and the Islanders have given up a short-handed goal. Johnny Gould made a beautiful deke. He cut to the left, and as he used Jean Potvin for the screen, he fired it pass rush. Using Jean Potvin for the screen, it is 2-1 Vancouver.
8:18 is the time of that goal. It is a shorthanded one. Gould, who had scored 32 regular season goals, comes up with his first of the playoffs at 8:18. It's a shorthanded goal.
Right off the face-off, Denny Pavan trying to keep it in and couldn't, and Gould broke out 2-on-1. Now off the draw, Harris sneaks it in, the shot, goal!
And a goal!
Ridley! Harris sneaked in on the right side and shot it off Ridley. They hit Ridley behind in the skate and went in. Oh my goodness, what a beginning to a Stanley Cup series. Harris, with no angle at all, shot it off the backside of Ridley's skate into the net. And we're tied at 2 on the power play goal by Billy Harris.
Get used to this word, unbelievable. Billy Harris gets his first playoff goal in this year's playoffs. It's an unassisted goal. It is a power play goal. Billy Harris has scored a few of those this year. And we're tied at 2 apiece. 8:28 the time of the goal. 10 seconds after Gould had scored his shorthanded one.
We have had 2 power play goals, 1 shorthanded goal, 4 goals in the first 8.5 minutes. And that's why you can't believe radio guys and TV guys and newspaper guys. They talk about the tough defense in the Stanley Cup. We have had 4 goals, Bob, in 8.5 minutes. Unbelievable. I don't know how that puck went in the net. All right, up to center ice now, Davy Lewis. Teams at equal strength. In fact, the penalties are over on everybody. Both Walton and Saint Laurent out. In back of the net, Juan can't keep it in. Sneps throws it out on the left side to Lever. He overskates. Hit by Westfall. Loses the puck. Loose on the right side of the net and has frozen and held against the boards for a faceoff. Bob? Harris had no angle to shoot from. He almost was shooting from behind the net, and he jammed it. And the next thing you knew, the puck was in the net.
I don't think he really thought it had much of a chance. He just sort of threw it in the general direction. He was only about 6 or 8 feet away. Ridley, I don't think, saw the puck coming. It went off the side of his skate. It must have hit the post and crawled in the goal. For Harris, the power play goal at 8:28. Unbelievable.
All right, off the jaw. Bert Marshall, a shot went high and wide. Rebound, Karam's out on the wing to Blight. He tries to clear, and he does, to center ice. Taken by Bert Marshall. He plays it in. Taken by Nystrom now, and he throws it all the way down behind the Vancouver net. Picked up and back by Robitaille. He circles the net. Mike Robitaille, and he comes up ice. Robitaille quickly to center. A lead pass for Blight is knocked away. Picked up by Saint Laurent. Skating 1-on-2. Saint Laurent comes across. Is hit by Sneps, but still manages to throw it in. Ridley stops the puck in back of the net. Played in back of the net by Blight. He winds it around, but it's going to be kept in by Bert Marshall. In the slot, the shot. Save, Ridley. He made a great save on Saint Laurent. Good play by Marshall. Rebound, kept in by Hart. Hart, the shot. Just went wide. Ridley went down, but the puck went wide. And the rebound, Karam's to center ice. Ahead for O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty across on the left. Throws it in front of the net. It's tipped away by Resch. The rebound picked up by Howard. It is a wide open hockey game. A lead for Nystrom. Nystrom comes across. 1 man to beat. Spears to the right, the shot. Quick save by Ridley. He had to make a honey to stop Nystrom. It is a wide open game. The center turns. He flips in a bouncer. Stopped by the glove of Chico Ray. In back of the net now, Howard trying to clear it out of the zone. And he does. Ahead for Trottier. A lead for Howard. His right wing pass for Nystrom is chipped and goes over the side glass by Dennis Kearns. Right now, let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Stanley Cup. This is New York Islander hockey. Tied at 2. Dennis Kearns winds it out, but around the net, but not out. Kept in by Hart at the blue line. He throws it in back of the net. After goes Trottier. Harris sets up in front. Trottier in back of the net trying to center it. He's checked against the boards and knocked away by Kearns. Picked up now on the right side by Verbegaard. It is a penalty. Verbegaard put the hook into Hart and knocked him down. No question about it. And it occurred, Robert Lawrence, right in front of referee Lloyd Gilmore. No question about it. Verbegaard put the hook into Hart and yanked him on his fanny. And it happened right in front of Gilmore.
Verbegaard was so upset at the call, he started to protest and quickly shut up, knowing full well Gilmore would put him with a game misconduct if he beefed too long. Verbegaard gets 2 minutes for hooking at 10:36. So the Islanders again have the power play opportunity. The first 2 shots of the game of the Islanders went in. 2 out of 3 shots on goal so far have gone in.
I don't believe this game. Face-off now, left face-off circle, right side of Kurt Ridley. Stickle will drop the puck, and it's stopped. And the Islanders won that draw, and the Islanders are not very happy. Neil Armstrong whistled it down, and the Islanders had drawn it back and had it set up. Trottier, the Lightning Company is out. Trottier, Gillies, Harris, with the Potvin brothers on the power play, the #1 power play in the National Hockey League. Right off the draw. It's taken back by goalie. Winds it around, but not out. Kept in against the near boards. Now thrown all the way down ice by Tracy Pratt. Pratt is out on the rear of the box, along with John Grisdale. Skating at the front of the box, throwing the penalty, will be Johnny Gould and Chris Adlerson. All right, to center ice comes Trottier. He makes a move, comes across, leads Gillies offside. They call it offside. Leon Stickle had the call right in front of him, and he called it offside. There are still 9 minutes left in this period, and we've had just about everything. A great fight, 4 goals, penalties, shorthanded goals.
The Islanders, as you know, looked a little bit on the tired side against Atlanta the other night in their final regular season game, but they are well rested and flying in this game tonight.
Right off the faceoff, it's thrown down ice by Tracy Pratt. A minute and a half left on the penalty to Dennis Verbegaard. Islanders behind their own net. Denny Potvin taking his time setting it up. A lead-out pass now to Trottier down the left boards. Returns to Dennis in center. Dennis comes to the Vancouver line, looking to come across. Checked off the play by Robitaille, and now Tracy Pratt sends it all the way down. Good play by Tracy Pratt. Back in his own net, Jean Potvin. Still a minute left in the penalty. In fact, a minute 5 as Jean Potvin comes up ice. All right, Jean Potvin now guns it in on the left side. Gillies will try to dig it out. It's taken there by Monahan. He can't clear it. Frozen by Gillies and Monahan, and they'll get a face-off in deep Vancouver ice. Monahan has come on to try to kill the rest of this, along with O'Flaherty. And on the back will be Grisdale and Tracy Pratt.
The Islanders get a new line out, the Westfall Parisi Drouin line, after the first minute is gone of Verbegaard's penalty. The Islanders like to keep him in the penalty box all night. He's already scored 1 goal, a power play goal, first of the game, and he's their leading scorer and really can blaze that puck in the net.
Right off the draw, Islanders win it. Back on the point to Dennis Potvin. Dennis now left side, Parisi in the slot. The shot went wide. Karam's out right side, kept in. No, it's thrown out to center ice. And here comes one-on-one again. O'Flaherty comes in against Denny Potvin. He is belted by Dennis. Dennis falls down, but he manages to whack the puck around the net, and it comes out to Parisi on the left side of the net. 35 seconds left in the penalty. Islander penalty now as Parisi dumped O'Flaherty, who was digging the puck out, and the Islanders will be a man down as the 34 seconds elapses on the penalty to Verbegaard. Right now, there's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2 and Vancouver 2. Out for hooking at 12:02 off the draw. Vancouver controls. Snip from the left point. The shot is broken up in front on the dive. The rebound kicked away by Rush. Rebound now picked up by Davy Lewis. Lewis winds it around for McMillan. McMillan will try to clear. McMillan and Trottier are now on. And there's a face-off as the puck is frozen by Monahan and O'Flaherty along with Billy McMillan.
The Islanders had that one-man advantage for about a full minute and a half, a little bit less than actually by a couple of seconds, and were unable to get a single shot on goal on Ridley. The Islanders up against a continually close-checking Vancouver team. This game so far is working out like a chess match between Phil Maloney, the coach of Vancouver, and Al Arbor of the Islanders in their personnel changing.
Off the face-off, the shot by Robitaille is wide. Rebound picked up by Monahan. He tries to send it out. Teams are still playing 4 men aside. They are at equal strength, not full strength, but soon Vancouver will have the man advantage. In fact, in 2 seconds from now. Snaps along the boards and center ice, loses to Henning. The puck is now picked up and sent down ice by O'Flaherty. He comes across the line, hit by Westfall, and down he goes. The pass goes cross ice, taken out by Walton. Walton plays in the corner. Westfall digs it out, can't clear. Kept in by Dennis Kern's left point. On the right point, it's taken by Robitaille. His shot is deflected and sent down ice by Davy Lewis. Boy, Bob, I thought Westfall might have gotten a penalty there as he knocked down O'Flaherty in front. He just took him down with both hands. To center ice comes Shaky Walton. He is checked in center by Marshall, and he has to retreat back to his own end. 50 seconds remaining on the Parisi penalty. 6:45 left in the period. We're tied at 2. Vancouver shoots all the way down. Behind the Islander net, Davy Lewis. He winds it around on the left side for Westfall. Can't knock it out. Kept in by Daly. Behind the net is Shaky Walton. Walton comes around the net, centers back on the left point to Dennis Kearns. On the right point now to Daly. Daly throws it in front, saved by Resch, and cleared down ice by Bert Marshall. Great teamwork there. Resch dug it out and flipped it in front, right in front of his cage. He had to be confident about Marshall handling it, and Bert threw it down.
I think both goalies are starting to settle down now after the initial 4 goals have been scored.
Islanders steal in center. Hart loses in center ice. Now Jerry picks it up again. Jerry now comes to the Vancouver line, but instead he throws back the other way to Denny Potvin. 10 seconds left on the Parisi penalty. Then he throws it all the way down. The penalty will be over in 3 more seconds. 2-1. Parisi is out. To center ice comes Kearns, and he plays it in. It's behind the Islander net. Parisi stepped out and was belted and knocked down, and the crowd wanted a penalty. Now, along the far boards, Lalonde tries to dig it out. Belted is ruled by Denny Platman, taken away by McMillan. He plays him back to Hart, and Hart guns it down. This will be icing, an overt icing by Jerry Hart. The touch is made by Dennis Kearns. There is a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 2 and Vancouver 2. Islanders control in their own end. Denny Platman circles in his own end. His pass, beautiful pass to Parisi. Now a lead for Harris. He comes across, deflected by Lalonde and sent the other way. O'Flaherty loses in center to Denny Platman. He throws across the Hart. Now a lead for Trottier, but it goes off his stick and it's sent the other way by Vancouver. The Islanders have carried the play. Vancouver has had 2 chances to score, and they have. Here's Denny Platman coming up. He's trying to get around that little guy Lalonde, who's like a little gnat out there. A lead for Harris. His pass back to Dennis. Dennis comes across, dumps it all the way down. After Gillies and Grisdale. Gillies knocks Grisdale down, and back of the net is taken by Pratt. He tries to clear. He cannot. Harris keeps it in along the near boards. Harris battling along the near boards with O'Flaherty. They don't get a whistle. It's kicked along the boards. It is not frozen there, and now they finally get a whistle along the near boards in deep Vancouver ice.
For a moment, the Islanders' Clark Gillies was just circling around the puck, which he thought was going to be frozen to the boards. But the whistle did not sound, came over to help out Billy Harris. Gillies had gone out in the slot, hoping that Harris would dig it out and throw it to him there. But it just didn't happen. We had a face-off on the near side.
Vancouver wins the draw. Grisdale goes behind his net. Taken by Gillies and dumped out of the zone. In fact, the puck will roll all the way down to Vancouver end. 4:15 left in the period. Here's Gillies to come across. He does. A lead for Harris, and it's called down for offside, and that was a bad call. I'll tell you why. Trottier had to come out of the zone, but he did get 1 foot across the blue line, 1 skate across, and I thought that he was onside. Then Gillies busted across, and he set up Harris on a breakaway.
Does no good to protest about it, but certainly Brian Trottier did, and he went to Leon Stickle, who made the call, and made a brief but assured complaint about the call. The Islanders would have had themselves that sure goal. Billy Harris right in on Ridley. Nobody in back there to stop him. But so much for that. The score remains 2-2 here in the first period.
Right out the faceoff, taken by Marshall. He guns it in. Islanders have really carried the play to Vancouver. Behind the net is taken by Robitaille. He tries to clear it out. It's kept in by Parisi along the left boards. Parisi trying to kick it in back of the net for Juan. He does. Juan's in back. In front McMillan. The pass out is deflected. Picked up by McMillan. He is battled off the play by big snaps. And the puck is frozen. And I think the goal cage moved as well. Robert?
That's one of the things that Bill Torrey mentioned in our center ice tonight, and he had been quoted in the papers to watch Ridley, and he made sure that the officials were aware of it. Ridley has been known to do that, to lift the goal cage off its post when he is in trouble.
Yes, you remember the last time they were in, Gary Smith did that. Off the faceoff now, in back of the net. Robitaille comes out now, ahead in center ice for Settlebauer, off his stick. It'll be skated down by Bert Marshall. Ahead for Davey Lewis. Davey trying to skate it out of the zone, but is poked back in, but offside Vancouver as the puck went over and came back again. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first period, in a wild first period, and a wide open first period, too. We're tied at 2 apiece.
They are really throwing their weight around. The sticks have been up a little high. You tend to get a little worried when this sort of thing happens. Somebody could really get hurt. It's one thing to throw the body, another thing to let the sticks get high. People can really get cut with the sticks.
Out the face-off, Snets. A cross-ice pass and a shot by Robitaille. And Fresh had to go down and make the save. It was a pretty good shot from about 80 feet out. The center ice now comes Davey Lewis. Ahead for Juan. Shoots, skating well. Shoot across with Nystrom on the right. Tries to throw a cross ice. It's deflected. Kept in, and Nystrom now dumps it in back of the net. Juan hasn't gotten off on this line, as Howard is on now, and Nystrom. The puck is sent to center by Vancouver. Picked up by Davey Lewis. He comes back to the Vancouver line. Snapped, and Walton hit Lewis, and Lewis knocked them both down. Well, the bodies are flying. These are 2 big physical teams. Light pass, intercepted in center by Hart. He guns it in. Going after it is Saint Laurent. In back of the net, it's Robitaille. His pass out is down ice. No one touched it, and it goes into Islander end, but stops, and Denny Potvin recovers in front of his net. A lead in center ice is tipped by Saint Laurent to the Vancouver line. Skated down by Daly. Ahead for Kearns. That play broken up in center ice and taken back by Denny Potvin in his own end. Cross-ice. Ahead in center ice now for Howard. Big pass blocked by Saint Laurent. Dumps it across for Denny. A lead in center now for Howard. Howard shoots him on goal. Gloved down by Ridley. Ridley plays it in back of the net. It's wound around the boards by Blight. and it's going to be carried out by Dennis Kearns. He overskates, and Daly now sends ahead in center ice for Lever, who chips it into Islander end. Skated down by Denny Potvin. 2 minutes remaining in the period. Denny now looks up ice and sends out for Nystrom. It goes off the skate, taken by Blight, knocked away by Nystrom, recovered by Blight. His pass comes over the line, and Vancouver will have to clear before they send the puck in. Blight across for Kearns, plays in off the boards to center to Monahan, filtered along the boards by Denny Potvin, left side of the Islander net. Monahan sends him back for Lalonde, knocked away and down ice, and there's going to be a penalty, I believe, yeah. An Islander penalty is upcoming. Lloyd Gilmore, I believe, has nailed Denny Potvin with only 1:38 left in the first period.
Denny Potvin was involved in some pretty close checking on Beauregard, and apparently got too much activity in that checking that he was doing. So Lloyd Gilmore, rather than let it get too much further out of hand, blew the whistle and sent Denny Potvin to the penalty box. 2 minutes for roughing at 18:22. The score remains tied, 2 apiece here in the first period.
Westfall and Henning come on ice. Vancouver on the power play for 1:38 of this period, and then if they don't score, 20 seconds of the next period. Off the faceoff, it's sent to center ice by the Islanders. Henning now trying to sweep it in. He does. Henning down the right side, throws in front to Westfall. Westfall recovers the shot. Save Ridley. The rebound under Ridley's pad, and he holds on. Westfall almost had a short-handed goal.
Westfall could not quite control the puck that had been sent out to him by a fast skating and good puck handling Lauren Henning, who had come down the near boards. He was off balance, but threw it towards the general direction of the crease. Westfall was bodied off the puck by Kearns and could not quite control it, so it was somewhat of a feeble shot, but still pushed in the general direction. Ridley had to jump on it quick as it was fluttering around in front of the net.
The faceoff will occur in the right faceoff circle, left side of Ridley. Westfall on the draw with Chris Avleson, who is the faceoff expert for Vancouver. The puck is dropped by Stickle, taken by Westfall. He throws it across, but Daly clears it from in front of his goal. Then Dennis Kearns looks up ice. 1.5 minutes remaining in the penalty. 1:05 remaining in the period. Jerry Hart now in his own end as the puck was sent down, and he clears all the way down ice. Under a minute left in the period. To center ice comes Kearns, throws ahead for Avleson, and he skates to the line. The shot taken by Hart, knocked away, picked up Avleson. Avleson in back of the net. The page is empty. The rebound is deflected wide. The rebound is turned to the right side. Avleson back on the point to Kearns. Kearns back to Avleson. Avleson cross-eyed past Daly. Daly on the right side for Gould. Back on the left point to Kearns. Kearns a shot. Gloved down by Chico. He saw it and had it all the way.
Jerry Hart almost got into it with Beauregard. Beauregard, who had positioned himself right in the crease, at the top of the crease at least, and trying to get some kind of a tip in. Vancouver moving the puck extremely well, really rifling the puck at all 4 corners of the attack zone and looking for the best possible opportunity. The save by Chico was not a very difficult one because he was wide open, unscreened on the shot, but he did make the good save. And we very nearly had another confrontation with Jerry Hart and Beauregard. I think Hart would be happy to go in the penalty box if he could take Beauregard with him. Beauregard's a big gun for the Vancouver Canucks.
And you're right, Bob. Vancouver threw the puck around beautifully from the corner to the point, back to the corner, cross ice. The draw won by the Islanders. They can't clear. Kept in along the boards by Daly. Right side, Blight. Blight throws it in back for Walton. Walton looks to center it. He's in back of the net, bullied by Marshall. Tries to center it. It's cleared by Chico. Chico winds it around the net for Henning. Henning can't clear. He took a swipe and missed. The rebound is played in back for Walton. Walton centers it, but it's cleared back to the point. For Daly, the shot. Save. Rebound cleared by Marshall. Taken by Blight. Right side, Blight. His pass out is deflected. Shot to the point by Gould. His shot is kicked by Westfall skate. Goes in the crowd. And the period comes to a close on that note. Bert Marshall did some excellent clearing in front. In the first period, in game number 1 up in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens, Toronto has taken a 1-0 lead. That's in the first period. Toronto leads Pittsburgh 1-0. Well, the period comes to a close. It was a wild period. 4 goals were scored, 2 of them power plays, 1 shorthanded by Vancouver. End-to-end action, bodies being thumped, and it ends with Denny Denny Potvin in the penalty box for another 22 seconds, and that's how the second period will begin, with the Islanders a man down. John Sterling and Bob Lawrence at the Nassau Coliseum. Bob will return with the statistical recap of the first period as intermission guest, and we'll get back with more of New York Islanders Stanley Cup hockey right after these messages.
There's 40 more minutes of National Hockey League action, the first game of this best-of-3 playoffs. And again, for the play-by-play, here against John Sterling.
Thank you, Bob. And, of course, we must point out something we haven't pointed out. If this game ends in a tie, well, we go to overtime until it's settled. Sudden death overtime. Islanders have 20 seconds to kill off the penalty of Denny Potvin. As they begin, they send in Henning. Here's Henning's shot. Goal! Islander goal! Islander goal! Lord Henning, a shorthanded goal. It is the second shorthand goal of the night. Unbelievable. Henning was sent across one-on-one. He fired a blast past Ridley, and the Islanders lead it 3-2.
I told you got to get used to this word unbelievable. Lorne Henning just walked in across the blue line with the puck, with the Islanders still having 12 more seconds to kill on what is left of that penalty to Denny Potvin. Westfall will get an assist. The goal at 10 seconds of the second period.
Well, that's really something. Our penalty is almost over on Denny Potvin as Kearns comes out. Ahead for Blight. A lead in center ice. Across the line now for Walton. Walton down the left flank. Goes in back of the net. Is boarded by Marshall. Puck is picked up by Henning. Penalty is over. Teams at full at equal strength. Westfall to come out. Westfall sends up ahead for Denny Potvin. He veers to the left and center. Now sends ahead for Henning. Batted in by Denny Potvin. And it will be whistled down. No, it won't be whistled down at all. Islanders made a change, and Walton comes to center ice. His lead is broken up by Howard, intended for Blight. Howard comes the other way to the Vancouver line. He rolls it in, skated out by Daly, who falls down on his own. Now ahead for Blight. The big rookie shot is broken up by Hart. Skated the other way by Stanley Cup. Here's a 3-on-2. Stanley Cup with a deep. Over the line. Stanley Cup skates in on goal. Ahead for Howard. The shot. Hit the post. The rebound, Denny Potvin. The shot. Save. The rebound and back is taken by Lalonde. Howard had a good shot. It hit the post and came out. Instead of going in, it would have been 4-2. Ahead to Kearns in center. He looks and shoots and knocks it all the way down ice. It caroms around the boards and Islander end. Nystrom sends it in back of the net for Hart. He's jammed by Verbigar, and they combine to freeze the puck and hold it in for a faceoff. Now that is down at the other end of the ice, Bob, and if you saw that differently, please say so.
You're absolutely correct. I was going to point that out, but you called it as it happened. That shot by Gary Howard from about 15 feet out completely had Ridley beaten. It hit the post, and it almost was banged back in again on the rebound. It's 3-2. Islanders lead it here in the second period.
The face-off will occur. Now, Verbigar and Davy Lewis have those sticks up high, Bob, as you've been documenting all night long. Off the face-off, deep Islander end, taken by Marshall. The first time the Islanders have led in the playoffs tonight, this year. The center ice shot here, whatever I said. Play is broken up by Verbigar. He gets a belt from Lewis. Boy, the bodies are really flying tonight. This is as good a hockey game as you'll ever see for all things you want to see in a game. Vancouver shoots down. Verbigar belts Gillies. Gillies comes out the puck, loses to Iverson, the backhander, saved by a sprawling Davy Lewis. He made a great save. And here's a 3-on-2. Ahead Harris. A lead for Gillies, broken up by the long stick of Mike Robitaille. Taken in center ice by Chartier. Throws it back to his own blue line for Bert Marshall. We're going to talk at some point about the Davy Lewis sliding save. He made a great one. All right, Islanders shoot it in. Harris right side, centers it to Chartier, but knocked away by Harold Smith. He winds around the boards, kept in by Parisi. Throws in front. The tip is missed by Harris. The rebound is cleared. Taken by Parisi. Back on the point to Lewis. The shot! Hit the post and came out. It went past Ridley and it hit the post. They've hit 2 posts. Back now comes Odlinson across on the right. Puts the brakes on. Is ridden off the play and knocked down by Davy Lewis. They're going to get Lewis on a penalty. Resch is going crazy. He doesn't believe it. So there's going to be a penalty on the Islanders. And Bob, I thought that shot was going to hit the post.
Absolutely. That's 2 posts the Islanders have hit so far in just this period. Davy Lewis is getting 2 minutes for holding And it's amazing because Lewis was really sparring with Beauregard on several occasions, and had really been belting him. Could have got called for cross-checking. At one belt he gave Beauregard, but he came off of one of those belts against Beauregard, out into the crease, and made a diving, sliding save. He almost stopped it with his helmet.
Beauregard given a giveaway, and he came in front. And not Beauregard, Adlerson, and I thought that was going to be a tie hockey game. My Islanders a man down, and Henning clears all the way down. Last time out, remember, the Islanders scored a shorthanded goal. And we've had 2 of those tonight, and you won't go a month seeing 2 of those.
Not in one game.
I'm mean. Here's Walton to center. Ahead for Blight. The shot is high. Tipped by Resch into the crowd. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 3 and Vancouver 2. Off the faceoff, Rick Blight across the line for Vancouver. Vancouver a man advantage. A shot by Blight wide. Caroms out left point, Denny Kearns. A wide open game, 3-2 Islanders. Daly, the right point, the shot. Kick, save by Resch. He made a beauty. Rebound, Kearns. The shot in the slot by Blight. Served by Resch in the old time. Oh, my goodness. Rick Blight had him dead to rights, and Resch made a quick glove save.
Somehow or other, he was kind of blasé about that. He just speared that puck right out of the air on one of the most spectacular saves that's been made here at the Coliseum this year, and then just casually dropped it back out on the ice. A sensational save, the best of the game so far for Chico.
A minute 1 remaining on the penalty of Davey Lewis. 16:22 left in the second period. 3-2 Islanders, and they've hit a couple of posts. Off the draw, Kearns a shot, tipped, and it went wide past Resch. Luckily, that wasn't on goal. Rebound picked up by Henning, and he clears. Bob, this may be the most exciting game I have ever seen, and we are barely begun the second period. Daly comes across, hit from behind, puck comes loose, and Westphal guns off the boards down ice. Taken back by Blight. Blight comes across the line on the right side. The big rookie on the right side holds it up and sets it up. Now back on the point to Daly. The big guy gives to Blight. And back in the cage now, Walton in front of the goal. The shot, save, rebound, blue, save, rebound, save. Blight and Shaky Walton were stopped at goal mouth. And I don't believe that Resch made those saves. And I really thought we were going to have another tie game. And Vancouver sets it up really well on the power play.
I'll tell you, they really did. They worked that puck so extremely well. Some fine movement of the puck, and they did not hustle the opportunity. The Islanders a little bit out of position, but Chico protected that goal as if there were 3 of them there. 3 goaltenders instead of just little Chico. And just as cool as a cucumber, he has really settled down from that first period. Ridley is still continuing to look shaky. The Islanders got to kill another 28 seconds of this penalty before they can get some more pressure on Ridley.
Boy, the opportunities in this game, Bob, just unbelievable. Off the draw, Harkin back in his cage, goes to his backhand, winds it around for Henning, cannot clear, and now he is clear. Henning finally got the edge of the stick on it and cleared it. Daly comes back, 15 seconds on the penalty. Daly comes across, knocked away by Westphal down ice. 11 seconds left on the Davey Lewis penalty. To center ice, the pass is broken up by Marshall, loose in center. Marshall guns it in. And that will do it on the Lewis penalty. And back he comes. To center ice comes Beauregard. Comes across. Fans on the pass. Taken away by Hart. Hart looks up ice. Here could be a break. A lead for Westphal. Comes across the line. Loses control. And is taken away by Robitaille. His pass goes all the way down. It goes past Resch. Stopped by Hart. Icing is called. The faceoff will be down deep in Vancouver ice. There's a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 3. Vancouver 2.
Won by Lauren Henning.
Off the draw, the shot on goal is saved by Ridley. Ridley now clears. McMillan took the shot off the draw. Rebound comes out right side. Juan lets it go to the point. Kept in by Denny Potman. Right side McMillan. Ahead for Juan. In the slot is knocked away by Grisdale. And it's jumped to center ice by Grisdale. In fact, the puck sails all the way down. Icing waved off by linesman Neil Armstrong. Dennis takes him back and comes out in front.
And the Islanders lead it 4-2. Billy McMillan should go with that puck as a souvenir. That's his first ever playoff goal. McMillan being set up beautifully. Top of the crease, and a backhanded shot that got by Ridley. It was not a tough chance, but McMillan just backhanded it into the net. Drouin will get an assist, and so will Parisi. And the Islanders lead it 4-2.
All right, out the face-off. Vancouver shoots it in, but McMillan will take it out. Islanders having all the chances they want. Here's Drouin across the line. Right side. Veers to the left. Goes through for Parisi. Off the skating instead of in front. Another great pass by Drouin. Back on the point. You jump up and a shot. Wide. Rebound. Turns out right side, but it will be carried out by Settlebauer. Loses to Marshall. And put the center ice by Jean Pacman. Now, here comes Parisi down the left side. Ahead for Drouin. 2-on-1. Drouin the shot is kick saved in front by Robitaille, and it's sent down ice by Vancouver. Loose in center, taken across by Settlebauer. Jumps back on the point, but the only one there is Parisi, and Parisi comes up ice. Parisi 2-on-2 with Drouin. The shot saved by the chest of Ridley. He shot, and there will be a face-off in deep Vancouver ice. Boy, and Ridley really looks shaken in goal. There's a break in the action. Score. The Islanders 4, Vancouver 2.
Salamai, Chris Christopherson, together in The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. From the author Yukio Mishima, 3-time nominee for the Nobel Prize. From Academy Award-winning producer Martin Cole. From award-winning playwright Louis John Carlino, The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. Starring Sarah Miles, Chris Christopherson, The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. An ATCO Embassy picture released rated R under 17 admitted without parent.
The Sailor Who Fell from Grace with the Sea. World premiere Sunday at Reed's Coronet Theater.
Off the face-off. Islanders keeping Vancouver in. It's loose behind the Vancouver net. It's picked up and back by Mike Robitaille. Islanders lead it 4-2, and Ridley looks really shaken in goal for Vancouver. Dumped to center by the Canucks. Skated down in his own end by Bert Marshall. Marshall circles to his own end. Throws ahead for Jean Pacman. Now a lead in center for Howard. Howard up the slot. Now dumps it in. On goal. Saved by Ridley. Plays behind the cage for Snett. He loses going back to Saint Laurent. He tries to dump it out of the point. It's deflected, and it's kept it. Now thrown out of the zone by Walton. Picked up by Marshall, and he plays it right back in again. After Nystrom and Snett. Snett goes in back on the net. Snett now circles, belted by Nystrom, loses. Howard takes out Robitaille. The puck is loose, and here's a big check, Saint Laurent. Now a lead pass to Walton. Walton comes across, ridden off the play by Jean Pacman. Picked up and back by Blight. His pass out to Robitaille. The shot is wide. Rebound played in back by Lever. Centers it for Blight. It's knocked away. Picked up by Robitaille. Robitaille, right face-off circle. In the slot. Back on the point now for Snett. The shot. Saved by Russ. Rebound Marshall. Ahead for Howard. And he just jumps to center ice. It is a wide-open, thumping hockey game. Here's Howard to center with Nystrom. Howard comes across. Jumped and knocked down by Robitaille. The bodies are flying all over the ice. Snett skates in front of the net, loses to Chaudier on the right side. Chaudier goes in back of the net. Nystrom's in front of the net. Chaudier's in back. Chaudier circles. Chaudier tries to kick it with his skate to get it out. Chaudier in back of the net. Centers it. On the point to Denny Potvin. The shot is tipped in front wide. The rebound taken by Howard. Howard left face-off circle. In front is Nystrom. The shot. Goal! Islander goal! Islander goal! Bobby Nystrom set up in front by Howard. Bobby Nystrom in front, set up by Howard. Chaudier took out the defense, Bob. Howard set up Nystrom, who shot it past Ridley. And the Islanders lead it 5-2.
That's the first Stanley Cup playoff goal for Bobby Nystrom this year. Gary Howard's definitely going to get an assist. Time of the goal at 8:20. And I think Denny Potvin, yes, he'll get an assist also. Islanders lead it 5-2.
Off the jaw, Bob Norrie on ice for the first time. Shoots it on goal. Stopped by Resch. He holds on for a faceoff. Vancouver offside anyway. There's a break in the action. Score. Islanders 5. Vancouver 2. Taken and back in the net by Denny Potvin. Ahead for Harris, but it's too long. Stopped by Daly in center. He jumps back in Islander red. Resch stops behind the Islander cage. Picked up by Jerry Hart. He sends it out for Chaudier. Now a lead for Harris. Ahead for Gillies. Gillies loses in center on the check of Vervegard. Here is Lalonde. He hurt himself. Lalonde was checked and went down, and he's hurt. Lalonde went down in pain. The little guy, Bobby Lalonde, and he went down in pain like he hurt a knee or hurt an ankle, and I hope not. I hope he's okay. Now, that looked like a knee or an ankle. And believe me, I know from experience, Bob.
But he had collided with Billy Harris. Harris went down on his stomach after the two of them collided. I think they banged knees together. Harris maybe not getting the better end of it. Yep, it is Lalonde's knee that is apparently the injured part. He's being assisted off the ice by two really big guys, Bob Murray and Bob Daly. Little Bobby Lalonde, maybe one of the smallest guys in the National Hockey League, and he flies around the ice with the biggest of them. Can take his checks and give them too, but he really took a collision from Billy Harris right at about center ice when they were skating in opposite directions and met virtually head-on. I think they collided at the knee, if you will, and Lalonde is being helped into the locker room. It's questionable whether he'll get back in the game. The Islanders leading it 5-2 here in the second period, 10:49 to go.
The Islanders, in scoring 5 goals in less than half this game, Bob, have gotten them from unlikely sources, too. McMillan and Henning. Bobby Nyström, of course, pretty good goal scorer. Jerry Hart, the other scorer, Billy Harris. Right off the faceoff, here comes Big Gillies to center. Clark now dumps it in. Off the boards on the left side after Trottier. Ridley tries to play off the boards. Kept in by Trottier in back of the net. Trottier is dumped by Daly. They bang together. Big Daly and little Trottier. Looks like Mutt and Jet when the puck is finally whistled down. Now, Brian Trottier will not back off from anyone. He looks small, but he's very chunky. Of course, Daly is built like the side of your house, but they were really banging together.
Getting another out-of-town score coming up on the scoreboard now. Toronto in the second period leads Pittsburgh 2-0. That's in the second. Toronto 2, Pittsburgh 0.
Right off the face-off and deep Vancouver ice, taken by Gary Monahan. He winds it around the boards for Dennis Kearns, and Kearns looks to skate it out. Head down in center ice for O'Flaherty. His pass is broken up and taken back by O'Flaherty. Can't come in because Monahan had beat the play in offside. At center ice, Daly, a long slapper, kicked aside by Chico in the left corner, picked up by Bert Marshall-Air. Bert now throws it out in front on the right side of Harris. He comes to center. Ahead, Trottier. Open is Gillies. Gillies just missed the pass. It goes down ice. Gillies in back of the net. Gillies would have done a breakaway if he had been just a little inch too small. Now the pass in front is taken by Ridley as he stopped the centering pass, and he falls to the puck and he holds on to be a face-off in deep Vancouver ice.
Ridley looks really like he can be scored upon almost at the Islanders' leisure. He has not looked at all strong. He didn't look good at the very beginning of this hockey game. He almost looks like he's not paying attention because some of the stops that he has made have been so very casual he's been about him.
I think it's really Stanley Cup pressure, and it happens to everyone. Ridley is a rookie who wasn't expected to even make this team, an ex-Ranger. Now to center ice comes Trottier. Trottier now throws it in after Harris. Brack plays it in back of the net. Gillies keeps it in along the boards in back of the net now for Harris. He drives to center. It is checked by Monahan. Kicked aside by Harris. Literally kicked aside. Now Verbigar tries to skate it out, but stopped by Marshall. Shot saved by Ridley. He didn't even know he had it. Under his pads, he was heavily screened. Gary Smith, the great goaltender of Vancouver, has fallen into disfavor with management. And Kurt Ridley played very well at the end of the season, but he is really a raw rookie, and it's showing here in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Ridley, who's been pressured quite a bit, especially here in this period. The Islanders have come up with 3 quick goals. Henning, 10 seconds into the period, scored a shorthanded goal. McMillan got one. Bobby Nyström finally shook the horse collar that's been around his neck for so long at the end of the regular hockey season and scored a goal for the Islanders. Bobby had scored his 23 goals in regular season play and has been shut out for quite a while. Finally got back on the scoreboard for the Islanders.
I could be wrong. I think it was 13 games.
I think you're right.
All right, off the face-off in Vancouver end. It's taken it back by Grisdale. Jumps in back for Tracy Pratt. Winds it around on the right side. Going to be kept in by Denny Potvin. In the slot, Westfall. The shot! Dave Ridley made a big save with a kick save. Good save by Ridley as Westfall just danced alone in the slot and had his time to pick a spot. In back of the net, it's taken by Gould, and he dumps it out. Ahead to Settlebauer, a lead for Odlisson. He's checked on the play, loses control, and Marshall just dumps it out of his own zone to center ice. Kept by Parisi, now ahead for Hart. Hart at the Islander line just plays it into Vancouver, and slowly, icing waved off. Grisdale takes it behind his net. Grisdale gets away from a checking Juan, sends out Gould. Gould's pass to center ice goes all the way down. This will be icing on the touch by Denny Potvin. No, icing is waved off by Neil Armstrong. In back of his net, Hart. Along the left boards, Parisi tipped to center ice. Skating it down, Grisdale, and icing is called this time by Leon Stickle, who went down on the play along with Grisdale. Here is a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 5 and Vancouver 2. Now, picked up by Settlebauer. Westfall and Juan were there. They didn't see the puck. Carrying out of his own end, Settlebauer. Settlebauer comes to the Islander line, comes across, dump passes back for Gould. His shot is taken by Jean Potvin. Pretty stop, loses in front though to Gould. His shot is saved by Resch in goal, and he holds on. Resch put up the blocking pad, Bob, and knocked it down and then fell on top of the puck.
Very nearly backfired on a great play by Jean Potvin. He had stopped the initial shot in the face-off circle to the left of Chico Resch, and then after stopping the puck, stood up, had the puck on his stick, and was looking for an outlet pass, tried to throw it across ice when it was stolen, and a quick shot taken. But Jean Potvin, making an initial good play, was saved by a good recovery by Chico Resch.
Vancouver sends out Lever, Walton, and Rick Blight. Islanders have the Nystrom line out. Off the draw is shot in by Blight, wide of the cage. Taken by Howard. Howard tries to clear the zone, bangs at the boards, the near boards, and they combine to freeze the puck in. John Lever and Mike Robitaille and Andy St. Laurent and Gary Howard. Face-off will come just across the Islander blue line. Off the face-off, Vancouver keeps it in. From behind the net, Denny Potvin. Islanders have a 5-2 lead here in the second period. 7:35 left in the period. St. Laurent to try to clear. Cannot. Stopped by Walton. His shot is broken up by Denny Potvin's stick. Taken in back of the net by St. Laurent. Ace now throws out to Nystrom on the right wing. Nystrom is bodied on the play by Lever. Loses. Picked up by Hart. Hart is turned back by Walton. Vancouver doing some great forechecking here. Denny Potvin looks for a way out. Just dumps to center ice to St. Laurent. St. Laurent comes to center. Now Andy comes across the line. In the slot. Here's to the right. Ahead for Nystrom. The shot is over the shoulder of Ridley. Stopped by Hart at the point. Hart, the shot is hit. Save in front by Ridley, and he falls in the bucket. He holds on. Nystrom was there, and he and Ridley fell down in a heap about 5 feet out of the cage.
One of those kind of shots, if Ridley was not able to control that puck, it would have been a sure goal for Bobby Nystrom. Ridley had come out of the net quite a ways, a good 6 feet out of the net, in an attempt to cut down an angle, which is not exactly a smart thing to do when you've got the opposition standing right behind you. It turned out to be Bobby Nystrom, but Ridley covered it up well.
Now the faceoff behind the Vancouver net is taken by Snips, Harold Snips. Big rookie defenseman. Dumps to center ice. Ahead for Walton, and Shaky now puts it into Islander end. Behind the cage, it's Denny Potvin. Denny being forechecked by Walton. Comes out with the puck. Ahead and center now for Jerry Hart. Hart, a lead for Nystrom, across the line, but just went past his stick, and it's picked up and back by Robitaille. Robitaille deals across to Snips. Ahead in center ice now for Lever. Lever speaks quickly to the Islander line. Comes across, tries to pull it through Hart, but Hart played the man, and he bodied him off the play. Back comes Howie. Little Howie skates quickly to the Vancouver line. Comes across, ahead for Nystrom. Back pass for Howard is broken up by Monahan. He can't get it out. Kept in by Denny Potvin. Ahead for Howard off the stick. Howard left side of the net. Goes in back of the net. Looks to center it. He's hit. Kicks the puck ahead of him. Howard is tripped. Back on the point now. Denny Potvin. Left point. Hart. Hart has a shot. Saved by Ridley. The puck is loose in back of the net. Picked up by Nystrom. Nystrom looks to center it. Nystrom is hit by Daly. Big Daly, and he flips it out of the zone. Monahan, a cross-line pass. Berbigar comes in. The shot. Oh, save. Skate save. A crowd has gone crazy at the end of one period. Is that right? At the end of one? Buffalo in St. Louis playing the first game tonight. The first is in St. Louis. Buffalo couldn't get their arena. Then the next two will be in Buffalo. And in the first period, St. Louis leads Buffalo 2-0. And Bob, that's unbelievable. Of course, that game has a long way to go. Buffalo scores a lot of goals. All right, Islanders dump it into Vancouver end. Ridley plays off the boards. Now Harris is banged there by O'Flaherty. The puck is wound around, picked in by Marshall, left side. And it goes off his stick and it carries to center ice. Stopped there by Brian Chaudier. Plays ahead for Harris. Harris looks to come across the line. Checked by O'Flaherty. Puck carried across by Bryant. Bryant closes. Bryant tries to deal it back to Harris. Blocked. Rebound loose. Rebound is back for Chaudier. Chaudier is knocked down. The puck is loose. Picked up by Daly. Daly comes out being hacked at by Gillies. And the puck now carried to center ice by Monahan. Ahead for O'Flaherty on the right side. His backhander is deflected by Marshall. Loose in back. O'Flaherty back on the point to Daly. Daly the shot. Kick saved by Chico. The rebound, shot to the point. Played in the slot. Knocked away by Jean Potvin, and he clears it all the way down ice. Rather than fool around anymore, it'll be icing on the touch by Dennis Kearns. Islanders, Bob, continue to carry the play and to have many, many chances. They've scored 5 goals, but I dare say I wouldn't be surprised if they had 7 or 8 at this point.
The Islanders also are really hustling in this hockey game. They were a little tight at the beginning and gave up a couple of goals. Barely got getting the first one at 3 minutes into the hockey game, but the Islanders have really fought back and have completely dominated this game since about the 10-minute mark of that first period. And certainly in this second period, they're really taking it to Vancouver.
Off the face-off, back on the point. Grisdale, the shot is saved. Brett Chico now warming up and starting to make some excellent saves. The rebound in the slot, Adler into his backhand. On the point, the shot by Pratt is a bad one. His stick broke, and it's sent to center ice, jumped to center ice by Eddie Westfall. A reminder, and I really have not made this point enough, we will carry the game Thursday night from Vancouver. Our center ice show will begin at 10:45. We will be live on the air from Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver Thursday night with game number 2 of this best-of-3 series. Vancouver coming out of their own end. Ahead for Adlerson. His pass is broken up. Juan plays it in, but it's skated out by Grisdale right to the Islander line. Grisdale comes across. Left wing pass. The shot gloved by Chico. And Chico plays it in back of the net, but there was a quick whistle. A very quick whistle by Lloyd Gilmore, and the faceoff will be down in Islander end. There's a break in the action. Score. Islanders 5, Vancouver 2. Come across the Vancouver line. Right side, Juan. Jude goes in back. Bodied on the play, but plays him back for Parisi. Parisi hit by Grisdale, but recovers. In the slot, Denny Potvin. And as he made a move, it was deflected off the stick by Johnny Gould to center ice. Kept there by Hart. Jerry placed it all the way back in his own end for Denny Potvin. Islanders have a 5-2 lead with 3:10 remaining in the second period. Ahead in center for Juan, taken on the play by under 3 minutes left in the second period. Adlerson to the Islander line. Ahead now for Pratt. Pratt's shot broken up by Jerry Hart. Islanders playing much, much better defense here. Parisi starts to come out. Parisi now looks. Right wing pass for Westfall. Eddie comes across. Loses to Settlebauer. Settlebauer tries to clear, cannot. And now Settlebauer on the ice. Throws a stick at it. Knocks it to the Vancouver line. Carried to center by Harold Snips. Juan kicks it back to Denny Potvin in his own end. Juan's been marvelous tonight. Denny to center. A lead for Nystrom just offside. Played in back of the net by Gary Howitt. Howitt centers it in front. It's deflected wide. Rebound Howitt in back. Howitt now tries to center it. Sends it back to the point. Marshall's shot saved by Ridley. Down on all two knees to stop it. In back of the net, Howitt. Howitt in back is belted now by Snips. Puck is picked up though by Saint Laurent. He plays in back of the cage. Taken away by Robitaille, and he clears the zone as he jumps all the way down slowly to Islander end, stopped by Denny Potvin. Denny out of his own end. The pass missed by Saint Laurent. Goes all the way down, but icing's been waved off by Neil Armstrong. Nystrom really belted Snips and knocked him down. Ahead now in center ice for Blight. A lead for Lever. Lever, the shot is broken up by Jean Potvin's stick. The rebound taken by Walton. Back on the point to Kearns. The shot tipped wide. Rebounding back, Walton, he centers it, but the only one there is Gary Howitt, and Howitt will come out. A lead is broken up by Kearns, but as Kearns came across, Vancouver was offside. Robert?
The Islanders very nearly had themselves a penalty just a little bit ago when Jerry Hart and Grisdale got in it, and getting that confirmation of that out-of-town score on the scoreboard. They had originally put it up as a typographical error, if you will, when it was 20-0. They just corrected it. St. Louis leads Buffalo 2-0 in that second period. Only one penalty has been called in this second period. We had 6 penalties called in the first period. The Islanders have really come out smoking to start this second period. 1:25 of it left to go.
Off the face-off in center ice, Daly sends ahead for Lever. Lever comes across. In front, the shot is broken up by Rex. Pretty save. Chico came out, took on the angle, left Lever nothing to shoot at. Here's a 3-on-2 break. Nystrom ahead for Howitt. Howitt comes in, gets belted by Daly. Daly gets belted by Nystrom. The puck is cleared on the left side of the net. Now in back of the net, Saint Laurent. He and Daly come together. Taken away by Howitt. Howitt, with under a minute, tries to center it, but it goes all the way down ice. Under a minute left in the second period. Islanders will be more than happy to lead with a 5-2 lead. The pass is centered by Jean Potvin, deflected. Coming down is Gillies. Gillies closing in. The shot went wide and chipped, and it goes over the glass. One of the Canuck defensemen fell down, and I want to look and see. It wasn't Daly, but it was the other one. I guess it's Dennis Kearns who was on. Anyway, And Gillies came down that left flank, and he didn't have much room to shoot at, but he shot to the short side and went off Ridley's shoulder.
The puck was deflected just even before it really Ridley had much of a chance to make much of a save. What it amounted to, I think it appeared that the puck might have hit his stick, and he had stuck his stick out in front on an angle of sorts, and then the puck was popped up in the air off of his stick, off of his shoulder, and then on up into the stands.
Johnny comes across the line. The shot on goal is wide. Rebound turns out to the left point to Hart. He plays it along the boards for Gillies. Gillies throws it back in the net, Trottier. Bryan comes in back of the Vancouver net. Throws it, leaves it in back for Gillies. Gillies trying to clear it out. He does on the left side. Trottier after it. But Dennis Kearns will skate it out of the zone. Denny Potman threw it back in, but the puck had just come out before Denny Potman smacked it back in, and so it is offside, and the faceoff will come to neutralize it. In the second period, up in Toronto, Pittsburgh was trailing 2-0, and now the score is Toronto 3 and Pittsburgh 0. That's all those games that we tell you about are the first of the best of 3 qualifying round. 23 seconds remaining second period. Islanders have a 5-2 lead. They have scored the only 3 goals of the second period. Off the faceoff to center ice to plug it in by Vancouver. Resch way to the goal to clear the puck, and Hart tries to send it out of the zone. Stopped at the point by Daly and Gillies, and they combine to freeze it in with 10 seconds remaining in the period. The faceoff will be midway between the Islanders' right faceoff circle and the Islander blue line.
2 shorthanded goals so far in this game, 2 power play goals, 1 for each side of that variety, and we've had 3 regular type goals scored by the Islanders, and they lead it 5-2.
Off the faceoff, dumped in by Vancouver, taken by Hart, right side of the net, looks to play it out, cannot. Daly keeps it in, his shot is tipped wide, and the buzzer sounds. The period ends. In that period, the Islanders really dominated, thumping the body, getting a lot of breaks. Chico Resch became very, very secure in goal, and it was all Islanders in the second. Good old Obi, James O'Brien of the New York Post, will be the guest of Bob Lawrence between the second and third. Bob will also run down the goals, penalties, shots on goal, etc. And then he'll talk to Obi. And then we'll get back for the third period as the Islanders try to hold on to their 5-2 lead. At the end of 2 of the Coliseum, the Islanders 5 and the Vancouver Canucks 2. As you well know, the minute in hockey you try to sit on a lead, that's when you're most vulnerable. So the Islanders still must attack. However, there are ways of attacking, and still you're able to keep a man back or 2 men back, and not have all 3 forwards caught behind the net, the opposing net. Islanders will begin with the veteran line, Maurice Drouin and Westfall. Vancouver will begin with Avleson, Johnny Gould, and Ron Settlebauer. Goaltenders remain the same. Ridley, the goal to our right. Resch, the goal to our left. Islanders shoot it down. Cleared to the boards by Ridley. Nystrom comes on immediately for Westfall. They're going to rest Eddie, I guess, in the beginning of this period. And buck round around the boards. Westfall on right wing gets it back in the point to Marshall. Along to Drouin on the right side. He centers it, but no one in the slot, and it's going to be taken away by John Gould. Gould to center. A long slapper. Gloved down by Chico. Leaves him back for Davy Lewis. Comes from behind the net. Is checked by Settlebauer. Puck loose behind the net. Taken away by Burt Marshall. Islanders lead at 5-2 as we begin the third. Now Nystrom flicks it to center ice. Sending it all the way down to Vancouver and taken by Robitaille. Robitaille is passed. Is broken up by Westfall. Westfall comes across. 1 man to beat. Westfall, the backhander. Saved by Ridley. And he sweeps it clear to Harold Snets. Westfall beat Snets. Couldn't get it past Ridley. He made a nice save. In back of the net, Maurice. Westfall now has rejoined his line mates. He went out just for a moment. It may have been to get some equipment change. Wound around the boards by Drouin, and Lewis can't keep it, and it comes to center ice, stopped by Marshall. Lewis plays it right back in again. Taken there by Harold Snets. Snets lead for Settlebauer, broken up by Marshall. It deflects into Islander end of the ice. Taken by Davy Lewis. He goes around his own net, now makes a turn and heads up ice, skating beautifully. Davy Lewis to the Vancouver line, a lead for Westfall. The shot is broken up, rebound, Lewis went wide, rebound Lewis in back of the net for Westfall. Westfall in back, circles, comes out to the left point. Right point, Denny Potman, the shot! Kick save, Ridley, and it goes in the crowd. There's a break in the action. With the score, the Islanders 5 and Vancouver 2. Bob, the Islanders picking up right where they left off in the second period, thumping the bodies and getting good opportunities on goal.
They've got to do it, too. They got to keep doing it. They, in a sense, I think, have taken Vancouver out of their game plan of the close checking. And they've done it by the use of the body, and really, Vancouver's not giving it back.
Out the face-off in Vancouver, and Howard bangs it against the boards, tries to center it. He does for St. Laurent, knocked off his stick by Grisdale, throws it in back for Tracy Pratt, and Pratt quickly ahead for Rick Blight to center ice. Blight now comes to the island line, veers to the right, has it knocked off the stick and sent to center, and it will be skated to center by Gary Howard. Howard, a lead Nystrom onside. The shot saved by Ridley in front and hit him in the chest, and that hurt. And the rebound is cleared to center ice by Lever. Ahead for Blight. Blight comes across on the right, takes the slapper, tries to draw it around Hart, and Hart took it right off his stick. He played the man beautifully. Behind the net, Andre St. Laurent. A lead for Nystrom. Nystrom comes to center. Nystrom comes to the Vancouver line. The wrist shot is wide. Carams out left side after Blight and Howard, a pair of number 8s. It deflects to center to Walt. Ahead for Lever across. His slapper is broken up by Jenny Potman. And he leaves Nystrom out of the zone. Bobby comes across on the right side, flying. Tries to throw it in front. Deflected by Tracy Pratt. Picked up and back by Nystrom. Nystrom cannot clear it or center it, and it be skated out by Vervegaard. Dennis Vervegaard takes a slapper, comes across the line, throws it in front, but it's cleared by Bert Marshall. Marshall leaves it in back of his own net for Nystrom. Nystrom throws it against the boards for Chuddy, but not out. Kept in by Vancouver. In back of his own net, Davy Lewis. Lewis looks up ice and throws it down ice. Icing is waved off, going to go all the way down. Everybody missed it. Maybe Snets touched the puck. Maybe that's why icing is waved off. Vancouver looks to clear their zone. Ahead in center for Monahan, taken away by Lewis, and back come the Islanders. Here's Gillies across, the slapper went wide. Carams out right point to Harris. Harris keeps it in by playing it in back of the Vancouver net. Caraming around on the wing. Played in back of the net now by Robitaille. Gillies and Vervegaard came together. That's the reason for the ooh. And they're ready to go at each other. All right, coming out of his own end now is O'Flaherty. A lead for Monahan. Gary Monahan across on the right side. Johnson back for O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty check and knock on the seat of his pants by Chaudier. As I said, there are real body checks tonight. Big body checks. Out of his own end, Marshall. A lead for Gillies. Off the stick goes all the way down. In back of the net, Robitaille tries to wind it around the boards. He does on the left wing for Monahan. Monahan comes up the left wing, comes over the line, veers to the left side, throws it in front, cleared by Clark Gillies, and there's going to be a penalty called by Lloyd Gilmore away from the play. Chaudier and Vervegaard met in the slot. Chaudier is going off, and it will be an Islander penalty. Robert?
It's going to be a cross-checking penalty, and Chaudier, Vervegaard streaking down the crease, trying to get in front in position. Brian Chaudier stepped in front of him and cross-checked him, and they're calling it interference now. In any event, time of the penalty, 4:23. Now let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is New York Islander hockey.
Sally, Jesse, Raphael on from 1 to 3. There's a marvelous program. 15:37. Left in Stanley Cup game number 1. Islanders holding a 5-2 lead over Vancouver. Off the draw. Daly from the point, the shot. Goal! Resch never saw it. A bullet from the right point of the blue line by Bob Daly, and Resch never saw it. A bullet by Daly, and it is 5-3.
It only took them 4 seconds of that penalty to get the score virtually off the face-off. Daly gets his first goal of his playoff series. And Odlinson will get the assist for winning the face-off. And we're now a 5-3 hockey game. Time of that goal is at 4:27 of the third period. The Islanders still with a 2-goal edge. But as fast as that one was scored, the Islanders really have to watch out. That's the second power play goal of the game the Islanders have given up.
Bob, one thing, an Islander is not characteristic of them to give up 2 power play goals in the game. They had the best percentage of against power play goals this year. And it has not worked that way tonight. Islanders got to keep trucking here. They lead at 5-3, but another goal in Vancouver is right on their backs. Off the draw. Islanders dump it in. Vancouver now flips it out all the way down. No icing will be called. Waved off by linesman Leo Stickle. Played in back of his own net by Jerry Hart. 15-15. Left in the hockey game. 5-3. Islanders holding the 2-goal lead. Daly from center, dumps it in, tipped in by O'Flaherty, played behind the cage by Denny Potvin. Denny leaves him back for Jerry Hart. Ahead Saint Laurent, a lead for Nystrom. They have the return to Saint Laurent. Andy comes across, and as he comes across, he loses to O'Flaherty. But Nystrom gets it back, and he dumps it in. After now, Saint Laurent picked up by Daly and back. Daly pass out is wide, deflected by Nystrom, but taken away by O'Flaherty. Ahead for Monahan. Monahan, a long slapper, is gloved down by Chico in goal. Leaves him back for Davy Lewis. He winds it around the boards, but not out. Kept in by O'Flaherty. The shot saved by Rush. He had the quick glove, and on the doorstep was Gary Monahan. Here is a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 5 and Vancouver 3. So Islanders come in. A shot by Harris, saved by Ridley, and on the rebound, Chaudier, puck just went wide. Taken out by Monahan. Monahan up ice, drops for Settlebauer. He comes across. His shot on goal, a weak one, broken up by Rush. Cleared by Chico. Chaudier almost had that rebound, and he would have had a goal for sure. Chaudier weaves his way up ice, comes across, has it knocked away, and sent to center ice by Bob Murray. Murray hasn't been on much. He's a young defenseman, too. To center ice now, Bert Marshall circles back. Ahead now for Parisi, and Jeep comes across. A lead for Westfall, broken up and dumped to center ice by Iverson. Taken in his own end by Daly. Flipped across ice for Murray, and Murray skates it up. He dumps it in off the board, stopped by Chico and back. Leaves for Jerry Hart. Hart in back of his own cage, and Jerry comes out. Now ahead in center ice for Westfall, over skates, it's going to be taken back by Vancouver. Settlebauer guns it in, on goal, kick saved by Cheek. Clears to Jerry Hart, and Hart looks up ice. A lead for Parisi, and he dumps it in. After it, Drouin in back of the net with Robitaille, cleared by Ridley to the far side. Parisi keeps it in. Parisi leaves for Drouin along the right boards. Now Parisi guns it around the boards, kept in by Denny Potvin. Denny, going way down deep, loses to Settlebauer, and Settlebauer comes out of the zone. Ahead in center for Odlison of Vancouver. He leaves Settlebauer in too long, and Hart will play it right back out again. This is going to go all the way down, and this definitely will be icing. On the touch by Tracy Pratt back of his own net. There is a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 5 and Vancouver 3.
Moorsand has everything for the great outdoors. Whether you're a new tennis player or a seasoned pro, you'll find everything you're looking for and at low, low prices. Hi, I'm John Sterling, inviting you to see our famous brand and our large assortment. We have all the tennis equipment you'll ever need or want. Tennis rackets, Wilson, Head, Davis, many, many more. Tennis apparel, tennis footwear, and tennis accessories. Moorsand, big savings, large assortment at the 11 great Moorsand stores in New York, Westchester, Connecticut, and New Jersey.
John Sterling and Bob Lawrence back at Nassau Coliseum. The draw has been whistled down, and there'll be another face-off in Deep Islander ice, Bob.
One of the things the Islanders are trying to get back and maintain at least is that pressure, offensive pressure in Vancouver's end, but they've lost their passing touch, not making the good passes as they were early in the game.
Off the face-off, hit around the face is Pratt. Pratt, I guess, is okay as he skates back on defense. He got a stick. Unavoidable, but the stick caught him up high. All right, here's Parisi trying to come across the line. He comes across, pulls his way in on the left side. Left face-off circle, looks to center. He's taken it back in by Odlison. They jam together. Odlison, Parisi, Drouin, Blight, and Grisdale. And there'll be a face-off in deep Vancouver end. Bob?
Looked like Parisi might have been shaken up a little bit as he was coming in across the blue line with the puck when he got banged into the boards by Blight. And he went back and said something to Jerry Hart. What I'm not sure is if cover me up or something or other. Now Hart has skated down the far end of the ice. Initially, it looked like he might have been looking for something. You see guys in the... oh, he has found something. His mouth guard. That's what he lost. He went back to retrieve it.
His mouth guard. You know, he could have lost... all hockey players have false teeth. I say, oh, most hockey players have false teeth. That happens too, but I guess it was a mouth guard. In the third period, in Maple Leaf Gardens, Toronto leads at Pittsburgh 3-1. In the second period, in St. Louis at the arena, St. Louis with the shocker. Boy, by the way, Pratt is going off the ice. He got hit with a stick up in his face, and he's probably going to go off the stitches. He will be back. He's skating or walking okay. Now, the Islanders is going to make a change. I didn't get that score. In the second period, St. Louis leads Buffalo 2-0, and that really would be a shocker. Buffalo would go back to the auditorium, Bob, and they'd have to win both games.
And that's pressure. I don't care whether the home ice or not. That's really pressure.
And especially against a team like St. Louis, it could have Buffalo really spinning, thinking, yeah, hey, what do we do wrong here? Could be down a game to this team. That's the team everybody wanted to play first round.
It never works out exactly. Off the face-off in Vancouver end, taken by Robitaille, and he just scoops it high to center ice. Stopped by Denny Popeye, makes the circle. Good move by Denny. A lead for Westfall across. Westfall has it knocked off the stake by Alderson. Played it back in the cage by Robitaille, and now to center ice, the lead pass goes to Alderson. Comes across the Islander line, holds up to the left point, tries to feed it through. Take away Westfall. Here's a breakaway. 1-on-0. Westfall down ice. The shot. Went wide. Rebound Parisi. Plays it in back for Westfall. He centers it. It's deflected in front by Snets. Played by Westfall in front. Westfall, the shot is deflected. Westfall goes down, no penalty call. Back to center, Settlebauer for Vancouver. Across the line, knocked off his stick beautifully by Jerry Hart. Poke check. Ahead Parisi. Here's a 3-on-3. Parisi plays it in. Westfall right side of the net. Looks to center it. Bodied off the play, though, by Bob Murray. And sent to center ice by Vancouver. Westfall picked the spot, but he shot it a little high, a little wide. Now to center ice comes Hugh Drouin for the Islanders. Dumps it in. 11-15 left in the hockey game. Islanders have a 5-3 lead. Islanders are going to be offside as Langton was caught in the zone. Saint Laurent banged it all the way down. Well, Robert, I thought that Westfall executed that very well. He was going to be cut off by Snaps, and he picked a good spot, and he just missed the net.
I think the puck just kind of got away from him. He might have been hurrying it a little bit, and the puck was up on the edge of his stick, and when he shot it, it just tipped off the edge, and it went wide of the net to the left of Ridley. Had a golden opportunity, though. Tough break.
Off the face-off, Islanders shoot all the way down. Ridley stops behind the net. Pick it up as Murray behind, loses. Saint Laurent bangs together along with O'Flaherty, and they combine to freeze it. It'll be a face-off again, deep in Vancouver ice.
Something that the Islanders have been trying to accomplish, and I think it's beginning to show signs that they have accomplished it. They came out hitting. Vancouver was hitting back. Now the Islanders continue to hit. Vancouver now looks as if they're looking for that hit to come, and they're more concerned about getting banged into the boards than paying attention to the hockey game.
Off the draw, Vancouver will skate it out. Walton comes down the left side. Walton over the line. Big slapper is high over the cage against the glass and back. Comes out to the point, kept in by Blight. He plays it behind the Islander cage. Played there by Burt Marshall. Blight is coming off the ice. And now at the center ice comes Saint Laurent to Howard. Howard picks a spot, shoots all the way down. Behind the net, Nystrom on the right side. Nystrom goes behind the net, looks to center it. He does center it. Back on the point to Marshall. The shot, saved by Ridley. He made a good save. He came out and stopped that puck. He cut the angle down very well. Marshall didn't have a goal this year, I don't believe, and he almost had one there. Vancouver trying to clear the zone. They do, as Walton just tips the puck to center ice. Am I right about that?
That's right. He and Fortier, the only ones who haven't scored this year.
Marshall has had 2 good shots tonight in the Stanley Cup game. Islanders lose it in center ice. Back comes Ververgaard, comes across the line, jumps it in, all the way down. Marshall took Ververgaard out of the play. Back of the net, Howard circles the net, loses to O'Flaherty. The shot, save in front by Resch. Oh. And the rebound, taking it back by Chaudier. Chaudier hit from behind by O'Flaherty, loses control, but taken away by Burt Marshall. Marshall checked there by O'Flaherty, and O'Flaherty hit about 8 people on that play, and he, by himself, helped create a face-off deep in Islander ice.
I'm not sure, John, but I think that shot hit the post. It looked like it. That would be the 3rd time that post has been hit tonight in this game, twice by the Islanders. We got a 3rd goalie out there tonight wearing a metal suit.
Well, it was on the short side, and Resch, I thought, made the save, but I think it did go across the goal area, the crease, and it may have skimmed that post. That's a good point. It was very close, let's face it. Off the draw, and back of the net, O'Flaherty tries to center it. He cannot do it. It's kicked away by Marshall, and it's going to be kept in by Vancouver momentarily. Now Marshall plays it out. A lead for Gillies. Across the line, big guy. Clark, the shot is wide. Hands out right point. Kept in by Dennis. Throws in the slot for Harris. Harris has it knocked away by Snets. Penalty on Snets. Snets took Harris down. Now, even though Vancouver can't afford a penalty, that might have been a good one. Harris had almost turned the corner on him, Bobby. And I thought Harris was going to set up in front and get a goal, and Snets dragged him down.
Couldn't agree with you more. It was not a good penalty necessarily under the circumstances, but it was a good penalty to take because Harris was going in for a good shot. Snaps had to take him out of the play, and then let the rest of the team worry about killing this 2-minute penalty. Schneps gets 2 minutes for hooking at 10:40, and again the Islanders bring out the power play, the most prolific in the regular hockey season, with the Lightning Company line and the Potvin brothers on the points. Islanders lead it 5-3, 9:20 left to play in the third and final period.
Bob, not only is it the most powerful power play in the National Hockey League this year, but they tied the record set last year by Montreal of 92 power play goals. And they came very close in that final game against Atlanta, getting 93. But of course, close doesn't count. Chartier on the faceoff with Avleson. Right faceoff circle, left side of Ridley. Off the draw. Avleson wins another draw. He's something. Wound around by Vancouver, but not out. Kept in the right side of the net by Chartier. Chartier plays it along the boards on the right side. Now taken away by Gould. Gould loses it back to Harris. Harris in back of the net. Looks to set it up. Now the Islanders have it set up. On the point, Denny Potvin. Right point, Jean. In the slot, Gillies tips wide. Rebound taken by Avleson, and he will be able to clear it. And he does. Down ice to Gould. Gould now opens it up and plays back in his own end. And Murray, Islanders almost had a goal there, though. Has a good pass set up. Gould now plays it back to Grisdale. Circles in his own end. Circles. Now Avleson bangs at it, and it goes all the way down. 1:15 left on the penalty to Schneps. Monahan comes out now to help kill this penalty along with O'Flaherty. To center ice comes Jean Potvin. A lead for Harris. He comes across. Cartier now is knocked down as he went for the puck and is sent to center ice by Vancouver. Jean Potvin carries it in again. Plays it against the boards and back of the net. Taken by Grisdale. He looks to clear, and he does. 8 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game and 48 seconds left on the penalty to Schneps. Denny Potvin comes rolling up ice. He has a lead. Denny Potvin comes across the line. Veers to the left. Shoots on goal wide. Rebound Tuan. In the slot, Westfall. Westfall back to Denny Potvin, left point. Denny tries to throw it in front to Westfall. Knocked away. Picked up by Parisian back. Parisian back of the net. Circles him back. Throws out. Right point to Jean Potvin. Denny's in front of the net. And right point, Jean Potvin. Left point, Dennis. Dennis has set it up. And the pass is deflected by Tuan, who didn't see Jean Potvin back there, and it's sent down ice by Vancouver with 14 seconds left. One more rush, perhaps. Denny Potvin, a lead for Westfall, comes across, has it deflected by Lever, taken back by Denny Potvin. Denny Potvin comes in, loses, and it is sent off the ice by Johnny Gould as the penalty on Schneps comes to an end. There is a break in the action with the score. The Islanders 5 and Vancouver 3.
A lot of good opportunities, but couldn't quite capitalize on them. Maybe one too many passes on that power play.
Off the draw. Nystrom, the shot. Hit Ridley. The rebound. Summerall just went wide. Rebound. And across. Thrown out by Howard. Rebound is taken and cleared by Schneps. Schneps comes to center ice. Islanders had 3 shots on goal from no more than 5 feet away. One hit Ridley in the chest. One was saved in front, and one went right across goal mouth from a tough angle by Howard. Howard and Nystrom come up ice. Howard's pass is too long. Going to go all the way down. Let's see if it's icing. No, Nystrom reaches it first. In back of the net, Howard leads for Nystrom, left side of the net. Nystrom comes out. White checks the puck away, and it comes to center ice. Ahead for Walton. He comes over the line on the left side. Tosses back. It's taken away by Nystrom. Here's a 2-on-2. Ahead for Saint Laurent. 3-on-2 now. Saint Laurent in the slot. Ahead for Howard. Howard, left side is bullied on the play by Blight. Loses control. Howard bangs together with Grisdale. The puck is now carried out by Walton. Here's a 3-on-2 Vancouver. Walton the middleman. Walton across. Right wing Blight. The shot is caught and held by a Russian his pads, and he holds on. There's a break in the action. Score Islanders 5 and Vancouver 3. Played right back in again by Bob Murray. Hart and Denny Potvin on defense. Chico in goal, and the Lightning Company the line. Gillies, Chartier, Harris. Gillies down the left side. Gillies across. Veers to the left boards. Plays it through for Chartier. Bang back the other way. Gillies recovers, and he plays it in back of the Vancouver net. Stopped by Ridley. After it, Chartier and Murray, they bang together on the boards heavily in back of the Vancouver net. Now, Chartier is held there against the boards. The puck is frozen for a faceoff. Monahan just massaged Chartier's head against the boards.
I think Lloyd Gilmore blew the whistle just to prevent any more from happening. They really hadn't frozen the puck against the boards, but the elbows were getting a little...
A lead for Juan, right side. Juan's pass, centering pass, broken up by Sotomayor, and Sotomayor rushes to center ice. Sotomayor now at the Islander line, comes across, veers to the right side, goes to the right boards, the far boards, back on the point to Daly. Daly flips it in on goal, gloved by Chico, and cleared by Denny Patman. A lead for Parisi goes right on net, all the way down ice. Parisi missed it, but it went right on net. No ice in there as Woodley was forced to make the save. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the hockey game. Islanders lead at 5-3. Puck loose in center ice. Gould back to the Islander net. Now sends ahead for Adlerson. A lead for Lever is broken up by Denny Patman. Dennis has been great tonight. Ahead for Juan. Across. The shot is high. Off the glass and back in the cage. Ridley in back. Can't control. It's dumped across to the far boards by Daly, and he sends out Lever to center. Loses to Bert Marshall. Marshall plays off the boards and neutralized. Kept in by Gould. Now Gould plays across to Lever. Lever comes across the line, has it knocked off his stick, and it's dumped to center ice for Nystrom. A little too long, or the Islanders would have had a 2-on-1. Vancouver shoots it all the way down to Islander end. Stopped by Resch. Picked up by Jerry Hart. Looks up ice, caroms off the boards, and that goes all the way down. Again, it was tipped in center ice, and icing is waved off by Neil Armstrong. 4:15 left in the game. Islanders closing in on a win in the first game. Out of center ice, Lewis, and he dumps it in. Stopped by Sneps at his own blue line. Sneps starts to come up ice. Sneps plays it into Islander end, taken by Walton. Walton ridden off the play by Davy Lewis. Davy at his own goal line goes in back of the net. Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. And back of the Islander net, Davy Lewis holds, waits for his teammates to get themselves together, and now he sends across to Marshall. Marshall leads it out. Marshall to center. And he just dumps it in. After it is Nystrom and Sneps. They bang together. Puck is taken by Saint Laurent. Dumps right side for Nystrom. Nystrom played back to Sneps and really pelted by Sneps with the elbow up high. And the puck is frozen against the near boards for a face-off in deep Vancouver ice. Break in the action. Score. Islanders 5, Vancouver 3.
Denny Patman has played an incredible hockey game as per usual, to the surprise of not too many people, I'm sure. Coming back out on the ice tonight, Denny has really done it all defensively. He's come up with 2 assists in this hockey game so far tonight. Made some great passes. He's really playing a super Stanley Cup playoff game.
Off the jaw. Islanders trying to control, but Monahan will skate it out for Vancouver. Loses to Harris right near his own blue line, and back across comes Trottier. He loses to Vervegaard. Now back the other way, Monahan. Head for O'Flaherty. His slapper broken up by Denny Patman. He really belted O'Flaherty and knocked him spinning. Puck sails back to Vancouver end. Sent up to O'Flaherty. A lead for Monahan, broken up by Gillies, and he just bangs it all the way down. This will be icing. And by the time that Pratt makes the touch, he is back on the ice. 3 minutes, 1 second remaining in the game. 3:01 left. Islanders have a 5-3 lead. The face-off will be to the left side of Chico Resch in the Islander goal. Right face-off circle, deep Islander ice.
I don't want to second-guess anybody, but it wouldn't be too surprising if Maloney, the coach of the Canucks, doesn't decide to pull his goalie early in this hockey game. They've got to take some kind of chances. In this kind of a short series, best 2 out of 3, there isn't too much of it tomorrow. The Islanders have a 2-goal lead, 3 minutes to play.
Off the face-off, Gillies plays off the boards and dumps to center ice. Now the Islanders can afford to mass at the blue line and just play it out to center ice and not try to skate it out, but pass it out. Pratt looks to come across. He does, and he plays it in. After it, Trottier. Brian is in back of his own net. Islanders only want to do one thing, and that's get the puck out of their zone. Lewis turned back by Vervegaard, throws cross to Marshall, plays off the board softly to Westfall, and he comes to center. Westfall now plays to the Vancouver line. The Islanders make a change, and the puck is frozen for a faceoff. One thing, Bob, we're going to see very quick changes by Islander coach Al Arbor to get very fresh skaters on ice. The shifts will not last very long anymore. All the Islanders want to do is really play Katie Barbador here.
They're going to do the DH routine, defense and hustle like crazy. They really got to change fast, keep the pressure on, and be able to be fresh troops on the ice to hustle the puck down the end.
Juan wins the draw in center, and Denny Patman dumps in on goal softly. Ridley clears, and back of the net, Dennis Kern lets it go past him. Picked up by Lever, and he dumps to center ice. Stopped there by Patman. He plays it in, and it will be taken by Dennis Kearns. Kearns plays it out to Adlerson, knocked back by Juan. Juan comes in. Juan in front. Juan the shot. Saved by Ridley. Rebound Westfall. Can't control as Kearns cleared it, and the puck is sent to center ice by Vancouver. Almost. Dennis Kearns made a nice play as Westfall was on the verge of wrapping that home. Back of his own net, Bert Marshall. Bert looks up, sends out Drouin to center ice, left wing Parisi, and Parisi plays it all the way down. Only a minute 40 remaining in the game. Kearns behind his own net. Islanders have made another change. They're getting new lines out as quickly as they can. St. Laurent keeps it into Vancouver end, throws it cross ice. It avoided Nystrom, and Blight sends out to center ice. Blight to the red line. Blight across the Islander line, veers to his right side, throws it back to Walton, dumps him back of the net, or Blight has it. He centers it back to the point. Daly, the shot, save in front by St. Laurent, and he skates out. It's going to be a Islander penalty. Islander penalty. Blight was knocked down. Islanders started to come out 3-on-1. St. Laurent shaken up on the ice, getting slowly to his knees. And the penalty door is open, and Davy Lewis will go off for the Islanders. And watch out. And now's the time I have seen people pull their goalie and go with 2 extra skaters.
Beg your pardon. For the remainder of the game, Lewis getting 2 minutes for hooking at 18:46. So the Islanders really got to play it close to the chest now. We'll keep an eye on the goal to see if Ridley is pulled in this last minute 14. The Islanders are somewhat accustomed to be facing that sort of thing. They've had a number of times this year when they were on the ice with a 2-man disadvantage. Not when the goalie was off the ice, but a 2-man disadvantage, and they were able to kill it on innumerable occasions. You can bet one of the guys will be out there. He is Denny Potvin, and Bert Marshall on the back of the box with Lauren Henning and Eddie Westfall out front.
Vancouver gets Dennis Verbegaard out on his off wing, and they're sending their scorers out. Outlason, Verbegaard, Gould, Kearns, and Daly. Off the draw, Denny Potvin whistles it down ice. Islanders have cleared. The penalty time doesn't matter because Davy Lewis will be out there for the rest of the game. Islanders have a 2-goal lead. Now there's under a minute left in the game. Marshall sent it down ice again. I would say if Vancouver comes up ice and shoots it into Islander end, Gould has it in his own end, turn back. Now Kearns will skate out. I bet Ridley's going to come off. In fact, here comes Ridley. Ridley comes off. Vancouver plays it in, but they come in offside. Outlason was met by Denny Potvin at the blue line, and he was forced to hold up before coming in, and Ridley is off the ice. Now let's see if he goes back. No, he doesn't.
As you mentioned, Denny held up Beauregard coming in, or Outlason rather, and it was on the right side, Gould, who had gone in over the blue line, anticipating that the puck would cross the blue line, and the Islanders got a break out of that.
Face-off just outside the Islander line. Taken in by Verbegaard. Ahead now for Outlason. Poked back by Henning. And it's sent to center ice now. Off into the Islander bench. Denny Potvin and Dennis Kearns combined to lift it off the ice. The face-off being the exact place that we had it before. Only 37 seconds remaining in the game. Islanders playing a man down, but they have a 2-goal lead. They are playing 2 men down now because Ridley is off the ice. Vancouver does not have a netminder. Vancouver have 6 skaters. The Islanders have 4. Face-off at the Islander blue line. Face-off is taken by Walton, and he plays it in. Behind the net, Bert Marshall. Marshall behind his net, crams it off the boards, but not out. Kept in by Beauregard. Beauregard now looks, tries to throw in the slot, taken away by Denny Potvin. Throws it down ice. It's going to be off net. It's going to be off net, but it won't be icing because the Islanders are a man down. 15 seconds remain in the game. The Islanders are going to win game number 1 of this 3-game series. Ahead to center now comes Lever down the left side with 8 seconds remaining. Islanders break it out. Ahead for Henning. He can get another goal. The shot is hit the post. Caromed off. The game ends. The Islanders have won. Lordy Henning broke out along with Dennis Potvin. Lordy threw it down ice and it hit the post and caromed off to the right side. The time ran out. And the Islanders have won the first Stanley Cup game in this best-of-3 playoff qualifying series for the quarterfinals of the National Hockey League by winning 5-3. Before we do anything else, why don't we break the station, okay? Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification. This is New York Islander hockey. WMCA New York. This is Barry Gray. Join me right after the game for the best talk in town. Let me remind you now, our remind you after we play back all the goals. But let me remind you right now, we will carry live on WMCA game number 2 of this best-of-3 series from Vancouver, British Columbia. We will be on with the center ice program beginning at 10:45 your time, 7:45, of course, Vancouver time. 10:45, we will carry the game, and if the Islanders win it, they'll win the series. If they lose it, the third game will be back here at the Nassau Coliseum at 2:10, and we'll be on the air beginning at 1:45. The Islanders have beaten Vancouver 5-3. We will replay all the goals and have all the other information for you when we get back right after these messages.
Standing room only at the Coliseum. The fans went home with a tummy full of excitement tonight, and certainly satisfied as the Islanders have defeated the Vancouver Canucks. They could not do it during the regular season, but they did it rather impressively tonight here at the Coliseum, beating Vancouver in the first of this best-of-3 series, 5-3.
We're going to play back the goals. The Islanders have won it 5-3. I think this game, now who knows what's going to happen in a series? Who knows what's going to happen in any short series? Any team. Washington, KC, they can beat any team, too, in a 2-out-of-3 series. But I think the Islanders started off so terribly, terribly tight, and Vancouver got 2 goals on 2 long shots on Chico, 2 breaks off sloppy play by the Islanders, and still they came back and thumped and shot the puck tonight. They really shot the puck. And they've got to be a great frame of mind anyway for the next game in Vancouver Thursday night. I have no idea who's going to win the game. If I did, why bother to play the games and play the series? But anyway, I think it was something the way the Islanders came back by playing really aggressive, dynamic, not scared. You know, I think that's what Bill Torrey and Al Albert meant about the game against the Russians. The Islanders, although they played a nice game and it was 2-1, but they didn't play the thumping, banging, bruising, shoot the puck, fly in, smack someone against the boards game that they can play.
They did that recently against Philadelphia, and it worked out very well for them in that particular hockey game. And it's a welcome sign for the Islanders. If that's going to be the style of play for the rest of the series, it's going to end Thursday night.
All right, you'll hear the excitement in the crowd as we will replay the goals now, and to introduce them, here is Robert Lawrence.
Well, the Canucks got the first goal of the hockey game at 2:58 of the first period. It was their leading scorer during the regular season, Vervegard, and his first goal of the playoff series on the assist from Kearns and Blight, and here's how it occurred.
Hart plays it back to Denny Pop, and he winds around for Westfall, and the Islanders shoot clear, and they do. Here comes Westfall to center. His pass is deflected, or Henning might have had a breakaway. Kearns comes across. Kearns, a drop pass, Vervegard, goal! Dennis Vervegard with a bullet from the right side. Off the drop pass, and Vancouver leads 1-0.
That one happened so very fast, I don't think many of the fans in the Coliseum might have even seen that goal. Vervegard putting Vancouver ahead 1-0. Jerry Hart tied it up almost 3 minutes to the second later.
Face off now in deep Vancouver end. Taken by Denny Poppin on the left boards. He looks to throw across. He looks to Hart. Hart has a shot. Goal! Islanders goal! Jerry Hart on a pass from Denny Potvin. A blue line bullet from the left side. Ridley never saw it. We're tied at 1-1. Back on the point now to Denny Potvin, but it's knocked away and sent to center ice. And here comes Gould. 1-on-1. He fakes to the left, a shot. Goal! Short-handed goal by Johnny Gould. He faked and shot a bullet past Rush. And the Islanders have given up a short-handed goal. Denny Potvin trying to keep it in and couldn't, and Gould broke out 2-on-1. Now off the draw, Harris sneaks it in, the shot. Goal! It went in off Ridley. Harris sneaked in on the right side and shot it off Ridley. It hit Ridley behind in the skate and went in. Oh my goodness, what a beginning to a Stanley Cup series. Harris, with no angle at all, shot it off the backside of Ridley's skate into the net. And until it's settled, sudden death overtime. Islanders have 20 seconds to kill off the penalty of Denny Potvin. As they begin, they send in Henning. Here's Henning's shot. Goal! Islander goal! Islander goal!
The Islanders